Understanding the ethnic and linguistic backgrounds of English peoples. The ethnic and linguistic backgrounds of the English peoples are the result of a complex interplay of prehistoric settlement, successive waves of migration and invasion, regional diversity, and ongoing social change. This answer provides a comprehensive overview, tracing the story from the earliest inhabitants of the British Isles to the present day, and examining both ethnic composition and linguistic evolution. 1. Prehistoric and ancient inhabitants. Early settlement. Earliest humans. The British Isles have been inhabited intermittently for nearly 1 million years, with the earliest evidence of human presence dating back to between 800,000 and 1 million years ago. These early populations included archaic humans such as Homo antecessor and later Neanderthals, followed by anatomically modern humans, Homo sapiens, around 40,000 years ago. Mesolithic to Neolithic. After the last ice age, and 11,700 years ago, continuous settlement began. The Mesolithic hunter-gatherers were eventually joined and partly replaced by Neolithic farmers from continental Europe around 4000 BC, who introduced agriculture and monumental architecture. Bronze and Iron Ages. The arrival of the Beaker people, 2300 BC, brought significant genetic and cultural change, with ancient DNA studies showing a major population replacement. By the Iron Age, the Isles were home to a mosaic of tribal societies, often labeled as Celtic by later historians, though this is a modern term. 2. Historic invasions and ethnic transformations. Roman Britain, 43–410 AD. Ethnic impact. The Romans established urban centers and brought a cosmopolitan mix of people from across the empire, but the majority of the population remained Celtic Britons. Latin influenced place names and some vocabulary, but did not replace native languages. Anglo-Saxon migrations, 5th–6th centuries. Origins. The Angles, Saxons, Jutes, and Frisians migrated from northern Germany and Denmark, settling mainly in eastern and southern England. Ethnic impact. While the Anglo-Saxons became the dominant group in many regions, modern genetics and archaeology show that significant numbers of native Britons survived and were assimilated. The Anglo-Saxon element, however, became the main ethnic and linguistic foundation of the English people. Viking invasions, 8th–11th centuries. Origins. Vikings from Denmark and Norway settled in large parts of eastern and northern England, the Danelaw, intermarrying with local populations. Impact. The genetic impact was significant in some regions, and Old Norse influenced place names, vocabulary, and legal concepts. Norman conquest, 1066. Origins. The Normans were originally Norse settlers in France who had adopted French language and culture. Impact. The Norman elite replaced much of the Anglo-Saxon aristocracy, but the general population remained largely Anglo-Saxon or Anglo-Scandinavian. Norman French became the language of the court and law, introducing a vast number of French words into English. Regional variation west and north. Areas like Wales, Cornwall, and the Scottish Highlands retained more Celtic language and culture due to less intensive Anglo-Saxon and Viking settlement. East and Midlands. Stronger Anglo-Saxon and Viking influence, reflected in place names and dialects. 3. The evolution of the English language. Old English, c. 450–1150 AD. Origins. Developed from the Germanic dialects of the Anglo-Saxons, with influences from Latin, via Christianity, and Old Norse, via Viking settlement. Features. Highly inflected grammar, 4 main dialects: Northumbrian, Mercian, Kentish, West Saxon, and a largely Germanic vocabulary. Middle English, c. 1150–1500 AD. Transition. The Norman conquest led to a massive influx of French vocabulary and a simplification of grammar. English remained the language of the common people, while French dominated the elite. Features. Loss of many inflections, increased use of fixed word order, and the emergence of regional dialects. Modern English, circa 1500 present. Early Modern English, the printing press, Renaissance, and Great Vowel Shift transformed spelling, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Works by Shakespeare and the King James Bible helped standardize the language. Late Modern English, The British Empire and later American influence spread English worldwide, leading to the development of many regional varieties and dialects. 4. Regional dialects and ethnic diversity in England. Dialect diversity, nearly 40. Distinct dialects. England is home to a remarkable variety of regional dialects, each with unique pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar. Major dialect regions include Northern English, e.g. Geordie, Scouse, Midlands English, e.g. Brummie, and Southern English, e.g. Cockney, West Country. Dialect leveling. Urbanization and social mobility have led to the reduction of highly localized features, but strong regional and ethnic identities persist, especially in working class and minority communities. Ethnic diversity. Historical layers. The English are a blend of prehistoric, Celtic, Anglo-Saxon, Viking, and Norman ancestries, with regional variations reflecting the intensity of different settlement waves. Modern immigration. Since the mid-20th century, England has seen significant immigration from the Caribbean, South Asia, Africa, and Eastern Europe, especially in urban centers. This has made England one of the most ethnically diverse societies in Europe, particularly among younger generations and in cities like London, Birmingham, and Manchester. 5. Contemporary linguistic and ethnic landscape, language policy, and dialect preservation. Fragmented policy. England lacks a coordinated national language policy. Most language-related legislation is hidden within broader laws, and there is little direct government support for dialect preservation. Community and academic initiatives. Efforts to document and promote regional dialects and minority languages rely heavily on local, academic, and community projects. Ongoing change, assimilation, and integration. Most immigrants and their descendants have assimilated over time, contributing to the economy, culture, and public life. However, challenges related to discrimination and integration remain. Global English. English is now a global lingua franca, shaped by both its colonial past and ongoing globalization. The language continues to evolve, influenced by technology, media, and contact with other languages. 6. Summary table. Key ethnic and linguistic influences. Period, group, main, ethnic impact. Main, linguistic impact. Prehistoric Britons, hunter-gatherers, Neolithic farmers, Celts, Celtic languages, place names, Romans, minor genetic input, urban elite Latin place names, Christianity, Anglo-Saxons, major genetic cultural input in East-South Old English language, rural settlement patterns, Vikings, regional genetic input, Danelaw, Old Norse vocabulary, place names, Normans elite replacement, limited genetic impact, Norman French vocabulary, feudalism, modern immigrants, increased diversity, especially in cities, new dialects, multicultural English varieties. 7. Conclusion. The English peoples are the product of millennia of migration, conquest, and cultural exchange. Their ethnic background is a blend of prehistoric, Celtic, Anglo-Saxon, Viking, Norman, and more recent immigrant ancestries, with regional variations reflecting the intensity and timing of different settlement waves. Linguistically, English has evolved from a Germanic tongue into a global language, enriched by layers of Celtic, Latin, Norse, French, and countless other influences. Today, England's ethnic and linguistic landscape is more diverse than ever, shaped by both its deep history and its ongoing engagement with the wider world.